out shopping for that new phone? Well, Marion County, let me and Verizon help you out. I can deliver to your home or office, saving you precious time. Phone, tablets, internet, home phones, even accessories. Whatever you need, we will deliver free of charge. Call me at the store, 352-528-0020. That's 528-0020.
All right, 25 minutes before 8 o'clock, 69 degrees, and it's wet out there. I think it stopped raining here at the studios. It's still dripping off the roof, but I think that's it. It looks like it's kind of overcast. The rain is expected to be with us all day, one way or the other. The chance of rain does diminish as we get later on into the day, but anyway, I guess we could say we need it. But plus, didn't we ask for rain on Mondays? Wasn't that the deal back in the day? Remember that song by the Carpenters? Rainy days and Mondays? Okay, so Fridays, Saturdays and Sundays should always be sunny. Well, one day this will be the future. We'll be able to actually cater the rain. Frank White is on the phone. Frank is a Republican candidate for the state of Florida Attorney General's office position, I should say. I went to his website, and the thing that struck me first was his commitment to supporting and defending the Constitution. And I've always thought that if you're going to have a test to indicate whether you qualify to be a doctor or a lawyer, then you should have a test to qualify if you're going to be holding a public office in this country, because the Constitution is the foundation of everything you're going to decide on. Frank White, good morning, sir. It's an honor to have you on our show.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Where are you right now?
I woke up in Palm Beach and headed up to Vero today.
Oh, okay. All right. So what, is this your first time campaigning?
It's not. I ran for the Florida House and have been in the legislature for 2 years. This is certainly my first time to run statewide, but so far it's on track. It's very different. It's a big state, but so far doing well.
Well, if I could just start with the one thing that always strikes me when I hear a candidate realizing the importance of the Constitution. To me, and you know why that's important, is because so many of them don't seem to realize it, and that's what boggles my mind.
Absolutely, you are 100% correct, and especially in the role of Attorney General, it is uniquely important that you have an appreciation for the Constitution, and I believe, is a divinely inspired document that has stood the test of time, and so many others and so many other countries around the world it hasn't, but in ours, it's unique, and the Attorney General's role is to be the defender of the Constitution.
Yeah, and obviously we have a state constitution as well, which should never usurp the Constitution, the U.S. Constitution.
Right. Yes. We have certainly a state and a federal. The state covers some things the federal doesn't. But you're exactly right. There are two different documents, both of which need to be appreciated.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. Robin says you are a family man.
I am. Yeah, my wife Stephanie is an adoption attorney in Pensacola. We have 3 little boys, twins, who are 8, and then a 5-year-old.
Wow.
So raising our family in Pensacola.
Now, was there something specific that you were hoping to accomplish once you are elected?
Absolutely. So, like I said, the job begins with the Constitution. There's also in the United States, this tradition of the rule of law. And when lawyers talk about the rule of law, what they really mean is the fact that the law applies to all of us equally. So whether it's government, getting outside of its lane, or anybody, whether you're the head of a large corporation or the homeless guy out on the street, the law applies to everyone equally, and that's kind of the first and foremost responsibility of Attorney General, and also just the specific responsibilities of the office. It's fighting fraud. So unfortunately, Florida is the number 2 state in the country for fraud, and that's not because we have a lot of vulnerable people. So. Seniors especially, and so that's a number 1 job, is using the resources of the office to identify those scammers, those fraudsters, and whack them.
The fact that we've already established that you are a defender of the Constitution automatically implies that you defend the Second Amendment. So what do you say to those people who have good intentions, but just don't quite understand the reason for the Second Amendment when they are calling for a way to compromise the Second Amendment. What do you say to those people, especially if their concern is safety in schools?
You know, I immediately start talking about what would actually work to make our schools safer. So there were so many breakdowns in government at so many levels for so many years that led to led to the insane Nicholas Cruz doing what he did and murdering so many people. There were so many places that government failed, and so I try to focus on the actual solution, on something that would make schools safer, and kind of go through that list, and of course mental health funding being a part of it. Government actually working, and being another key part, and then of course ways that we can invest in keeping actual school hardening and and programs like that. The Second Amendment, and then if they want to talk deeper about the Second Amendment, you can kind of peel it back, and I talk about the reasons why the Second Amendment was put in place, why those rights were reserved to the citizens, and it's you can talk about defense, safety, defense within the home. The North Florida is an area that is more rural, and there are many places where you're largely on your own, and self-defense is up to you. You can't rely on the government, on law enforcement to get to your home to protect you. And then, of course, you can talk about despotism and how the first in any sort of anytime the government wants to take over or take people's constitutional rights, the first thing they'll do is take the guns. So it's a long history of that.
Our guest is Frank White. I just wanted to reintroduce you, Frank. Frank is a candidate for the State of Florida Attorney General's office. The website where I found a lot of information that I'm drawing from to ask Mr. White some questions is his website. Easy enough. It's frankwhite.com. Just so if you want to go there and look him up, it's always a short interview. The rules that we have to abide by from the FCC kind of limit us when we talk to political candidates of any sort. The other thing I wanted to ask you about was the protection of the unborn. It says here you're 100% pro-life. Does the state, and I know some states have already done this, I think Texas has already done it, but do we have a right to have a stronger law regarding abortion than, let's say, what the nation has?
So in general, states do have the right to add some regulation on abortion, but it's the federal level kind of sets Roe versus Wade, of course, kind of a foundational ruling by Supreme Court. Unfortunately, and in Florida, we have a constitutional amendment that makes it harder for someone like me as a legislator who wanted to preserve life, who wanted to wanted to protect life, to actually pass bills because of what I believe was a bad interpretation of our state constitution, where a right to privacy was interpreted much broader than I think those who wrote it intended it. They intended it to be about informational privacy. It was in that post-Watergate era, and people worried about protecting informational privacy, not a more broad view of privacy implying that reasonable restrictions on abortion couldn't be put in place.
One of the things on your website indicates that you support making sure that we have a great law enforcement and a great support for teachers. Just going back to the whole idea of the Second Amendment and protecting our schools, in this county we saw great success, thank God. After the Parkland shooting, our superintendent of schools got together with our local sheriff, and together they created this protocol or put in place this protocol called ALICE, and some simple measures like locking the classroom doors during school session saved lives, we believe. I don't know if you knew we had a shooting in one of our schools.
Yes, I did. And you're right. There are very good local solutions around the state that folks in law enforcement can come up with, and that's part of the Attorney General role, is using the position to spread the good ideas that are working around the state, and you certainly have a great example.
How can we help you? What can we do to help you?
So this is a big state. So anybody who likes what they hear, go to my website frankwhite.com and sign up. We'll stay in touch. We'll have volunteer opportunities. Certainly, if folks wanted to contribute financially, that's an important part of the campaign too. Being able to get our message out to voters. This is the primary is in August. My name is Frank White, running for Attorney General.
Okay, and the website is easy, frankwhite.com. I like easy websites. Frank, be careful out there driving. I can tell you're driving, and take care of that beautiful family of yours. And everything sounded good to me, so thank you for being on the air and introducing yourself to us.
You got it. Thanks for the opportunity.
You're welcome. All right, we will take a little break. We'll be right back. This is The Source, WOCA.
Friends, countrymen, tourists, and Ocalans, lend me your ears. Hey, speaking of ears, there is an opportunity for you to help feed and provide good maintenance, housing, and medical care for Marion County's rescued big cats, bears, monkeys, and other disabled or unreleasable wild and exotic animals. Take a tour on Wednesdays or Saturdays of the Endangered Animal Rescue Sanctuary. Adults $20, children 12 and under just $12. Call 352-266-2859 for any questions.
Gene Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440. Our tractor services include bush hog, disking, front end loader, box blade, and